Hey everybody, here we go. We got the material. I got a piece of melamine, got a couple pieces of oak, some walnut, and a piece of ash. On the table saw, just getting it down a little bit to make it a little bit more manageable. Oak to the same size as the ash, and then just kind of clamping everything down just to see if it works right. And then I'm going to grab the Craig jig and go ahead and put some pocket holes in and square this thing up and get ready for the concrete. I'm going to use some clamps and clamp it real tight to the melamine. That will ensure that the concrete stays in the spot I want it to stay in. Concrete from the fence I just built, so I just used that regular 80-pound bag. 60-pound bag probably would have done this job. 3 scoops of the concrete and then add the chicken wire. In place, I stapled it in there with my handy dandy stapler from Harbor Freight. This is where I probably should have added some rod or something inside the wood to kind of give it some more strength. I think if I beat it with a hammer that this thing would probably fall apart from the wood. I added some bolts onto the bottom of the table for when I had legs to it. Patient, so I only waited about 24 hours for this thing to dry. Unclamped it, but that thing popped right off, and here you go. You can see the look of it. This is where mistake number 2 probably was made. I wish I would have taken more time to sand the wood before I put it into the molds. Comes the sanding part. I edited a lot out of it. I used a belt sander to start off and then went with the palm sander and blew it off. Here I am leveling it out to make sure that when I put the epoxy on there it doesn't spill to one side, because it's self-leveling epoxy around the side so it doesn't spill off. I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of thick spot, so here I am mixing the epoxy, and then I add pigment, but I should have stopped right there, but I just kept on going. So this is just a practice round. Here we go, putting the epoxy in the cracks and adding a little bit more there. And then I used 2 different cups here because I used 2 different types of epoxy pigment. One was silver and one was that white one. So this side I'm doing the silver, and the other side I did the white. And I wanted it to blend a little bit, and there I'm whipping it around. And then I add a little bit of white just to add a little decorative on the top, and heat gun to kind of spread it around and to give it a cool look. So here I am with the squeegee, just kind of layering everything out, make sure it's all flat and good to go. Quarter cable heat gun here just to pop all the bubbles that are in there, and just kind of use it to give it a little bit more decorative looks and put like 4 little circles there. After that, I got the router out and put a chamfer on the sides, and this was mistake number 5. Kind of looks like a coffin lid now, and just not really happy with it. So, but just gonna keep going on. I sanded it down with about 120 grit, and here I am putting the final layer of epoxy on it, using a paintbrush just to kind of level everything out and just finish it up, make it look real nice, and just be done with this project. Please hit that subscribe button and go check out my playlist and see what else I make.